Welcome back, everyone, to Crusader Kings 3. We are in the home stretch, the last less than 40 years now. And boy, there was a lot going on in that last episode. We did have succession to a new, now we're going by Kaiserin of Britannia, which is interesting that we've become a little more Germanic. And that has a lot to do with the fact that my current Empress of Britannia is Bavarian by birth, so at least in terms of her life, because her father was the Kaiser of the Holy Roman Empire, her mother was the Empress of Britannia. You put that together, and you can see where we're at. So I don't know if that means at this point I have a claim on the Holy Roman Empire, but that is an animal I don't want to take on, especially because they're a powerful ally for me, or at least they were. I guess they're actually not an ally anymore. Because we've got a new person on the throne. So we're going to have to re-up that alliance as quickly as we possibly can somehow. I don't know exactly how we go about doing that and what our relationship is there. Looks like we can negotiate an alliance. We are still in the midst of a couple of pretty major wars, one of which is for all of this territory here, mostly Greece, but also western modern Turkey. So we've got to try and finish off one war before we win the other one. Both are going fairly well, but it's tough when our allies are bouncing from one place to the other. And right now we're down here. I do need to choose my lifestyle for my new ruler. All right, we've got the alliance with the Holy Roman Empire upped again. Stewardship lifestyle seems to be the way to go right now. So let's focus on domain. I don't know if we have... No, we don't have any extra perks right now. All right. We've also got a number of other things that I've got to be concerned about. One of which right now is that a very dangerous faction. A lot of my vassals are not too happy with their new ruler. 100, minus 100, minus 100, minus 100. Look at how many people just hate my guts. And the Queen of Wales has a pretty powerful faction put together. I'm going to see if I can imprison her. 86% chance of imprisoning her. If not, we're going to have another uprising to deal with. So let's hope that works out. She did avoid capture. Ugh. My goodness. I mean, I had an 86% chance of being successful with that one, and I failed. What about the Duke of Essex? Can we revoke that title? He will not accept that, so how about imprison him? Only a 5% chance of doing that. The Duke of Mercia, 19%. King of Scotland. I mean, all the big boys are against me in this. So it's going to get ugly, and it's going to get ugly fast, which really stinks because we're so close to finishing these wars off. Okay, here it comes. Duke of Essex. I will not be threatened. And so here comes a massive force to start yet another war against me. So now I've got 4 different wars going on. One of them is a crusade, but the other 3 are legit wars that are just against me. If we can finish off this siege right here, I think we can win that one. Problem is, can I get my army back in time to win the other wars? I'm hoping this is enough to finish this one off. Oh no, this one's only at 53%. It's 84% in the Liberty War that I'm facing. Okay, we're very, very close to winning 2 of these wars. I've got another independence war against the Queen of Hayastan that has just started out, but I'm not too worried about that one. The main thing is we need to get all these armies to finish off one war so we can move on and help in the next one before that next one is too late. And right now I'm a little concerned about the war for the Queen of Wales taking the throne from me, because it doesn't do me any good to win all these other wars if I lose the throne in the process. So we got to keep taking territory here in Turkey so that we can move back to Britain to win those other wars. Well, I've been captured by the Duke of Mercia. I hope that doesn't mean that this thing's over. Alright, so we lost Britannia because they captured me. The Duke of Mercia captured me. And that's all you have to do to really end the war. Here's the good news. Now Britannia's wars are no longer, for the most part, my problem. I am, however, still the Empress of the Byzantine Empire, which means we can finish off that war. And then once all the other wars are taken care of, we'll actually go ahead and turn back on Britannia. And we'll get our territory back. Okay. That one is won. So let's see where that puts us at this point. You can see I am now the Byzantine Empire. We just gobbled up all of that territory there that we didn't previously have. Of course, a lot of what used to be Britannia is now Byzantine. But we need to reunite all that. But that's going to take some time now. And now it's not going to be easy. Oh, I do have the Earldom of Anjou still as part of my empire. So that could be a good jumping off point for me to win that war. We do still have an independence war here that is not as easy as I thought it might have been. But while we've got the army raised, let's go finish that off. They're right here and right here. Oh good, now we've got a popular uprising. That's what I needed, was another war to have to deal with. 60,000 in this popular uprising. The wars just do not seem to end. So we're going to have to once again call all of our friends. It's the Georgian popular uprising. We're going to need everybody we can on these. And the good news is that now we can actually call a bunch of members of our dynasty who are some pretty powerful allies. Especially some of these dukes that are part of Britannia that are no longer... In fact, I can actually call the Empress of Britannia to this war. And she will accept. So that's pretty cool. Okay, we won a victory in the Georgian Orthodox uprising. I've actually disbanded all of my armies. And I'm allowing all of my many, many allies to handle things for me. You can see here in this independence war, we've got 135,000 against 6,000. Of course, this war not going quite as well, but they've only got 13,000, so it's really only a matter of time. The other thing happening is that my husband has died, and so now I can find a new spouse, and this allows me to find yet another alliance that I can make with someone. Actually make alliances with some members of other faiths, like the Tamils, for example, which is all the way over in India, I believe. We could make a matrilineal marriage proposal to a member of Tamil, which is pretty cool. I mean, they're down in here. So we'll just have to wait these ones out and see what happens with these wars, but we've got to win the wars that we're already fighting before we can start thinking about going after Britannia again. Okay, we won our independence war that's been going on for 6 years. So let's enforce those demands. The Queen, we're going to revoke that title from her and all the titles that go with it. She has no choice. And we can grant those out to somebody else now instead. Thessalonica is what I need to go after, really. But I cannot abide not having Britannia, so unfortunately that's what I've got to do first. Okay, for the first time in a long time, we have no wars going on. Of course, the problem is that doesn't necessarily help me. We lost that last war, so we lost some territory there. Now it all becomes about getting Britannia back. How do we compare? Strength-wise, they are inferior to us, especially because of the allies that we have. I got to give myself a little bit of time to breathe before we do that. We'll We can usurp certain things. Let's negotiate this alliance. All the friends we can possibly have would be helpful. Look at all these people I have in prison. So these are almost all vassals too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and start revoking as many titles as I can. I'm going to grant those to people who are much more favorable to me. And once I've dealt with all of that, then we'll take a look at the situation and see what we need to do to go and take Britannia back before the end of this episode. So what I'm doing is I'm revoking the titles of all these people that I have prisoner from the previous wars. Because then what I can do is when you revoke these titles from people, they then have a pressed claim on that title. So instead what I'll do, well, that's a really rich one there, 10 a month. Then what I'll do is, since they're still imprisoned, is I can turn around and, as a condition of their release, demand that they give up any claim on those titles. And I'm going to have so many things. You can see I'm already at 20, and the most I can hold is 14. So I'm going to have a lot that I'll have to give out to people. But that's a really nice thing to be able to do, is to be able to say, hey, look at all these new titles I have. Who wants one? All right, so we start with the fact that we've got way too many held duchies. We've got 14 duchies that I hold. I also have to get rid of 17 of my holdings. I have 52 titles right now. Of course, none of them are Empire of Britannia, which is what I've got a claim on. Boy, my husband's kind of short, isn't he? Anyway, so we've got to start granting those things out. But we've also got to give out some earldoms along with it. So this is a long process. It's going to take me a while to do all of this. But what we'll do is we'll look at our realm. We'll start looking at the ones that have little to no income. And those are what we're going to grant out to people first. There's my son, Prince Werner of the Byzantine Empire. But we're going to start a little lower with stuff like that. We're going to look at opinion of me. And like Mayor Adolf, for example, that's a good one to give something like that county to. And we just got to work our way down from there. Now, it's interesting that a lot of these people are people that like me, and the minute I make them a vassal, they immediately hit minus 100%, and it's because I hold too many duchies. You can see that too many duchies thing is giving me a minus 180 with vassals. So that's obviously something we've got to deal with. So we've got to look at who we can grant those things to, so that we can get out from under that. I'm going to start with members of my family, or members of my dynasty for the most part. I don't know if there's a way to actually sort for that. There's a filter here. There we go. So we can look just at all the green hills, and you can see a lot of them not fans of me at the moment. So we're going to try to fix that as best we can. And we can probably grant some of the subsidiary titles with some of these as well. Well, that didn't really do a lot of good in making him like me. Okay, I finally did it. It's taken me about 20 minutes to do all of that. For the most part, now that I have 36 vassals, most of my vassals are pretty happy with me. None of them are really sticking out as being too awful angry. We still have a bunch of people in prison that we can take stuff from, so there may yet be some more things I've got to turn around and grant to others. So we're going to be revoking some of these things and then turning around and granting them to new people. But most of them... Oh, my sister. Yeah. I'm going to revoke her title. She's got the Earldom of Anjou. That's a big one. That's a really important one, actually. And we're back up to 14 holdings now. I don't think there are any more dukes, so that's the good news. These things will have to be granted to more low-born people. like this city. We'll grant to a low noble, and that takes care of that. Okay, with that in mind, we've taken care of all that other stuff. Now we declare war to get our Empire of Britannia back. We've got everything on our side. We've got the finances. They do not have the finances to upkeep a war. We've got the military, about a 3-to-1 advantage there. And the allies that we can call will just overwhelm. So we're taking back our empire. Here we go. We can call 20 dynasty members. We can call on the Kaiser of the Holy Roman Empire. Oh, yeah. Which is the biggest one. But the dynasty members is huge too, because a bunch of them, well, some of them may not be able to join just because they're part of that realm. That seems to be an issue there. But you can see how many dynasty members are within that empire right now. All right, let's ransom these people. Get a little extra money. All right, here we go. Okay, we've got a hostile French army coming against us here, and it's going to be a fight before I can get my other troops into position, so hopefully it doesn't go too badly. I don't want to be losing a big chunk of my army right off the bat. In fact, even though we were outnumbered, it looks like we may win that one, because my other troops are still raising, so they weren't able to move yet. But boy, that was a nice little victory. Oh, and sure, now they come. We lost way more men than we otherwise needed to there, but still a really nice victory. We lost 2,000 men killed 11,000 in the process. Look at that. This prince from Azerbaijan. It's nice to get those Byzantine boys in the action. Holy cow, he killed 125 in battle. Look at that. That 27 prowess, 22 here, 24 here. I've got some first-class knights, and that was a big reason why we won on that battlefield. The slaughter at Anjou. Excellent. And now our 40,000 man army can start marching on enemy territory. Here come the big boys once again. The mighty armies of the Holy Roman Empire coming to bail us out. We're going to slowly march our way through Brittany over here. Take all of that territory, and that's where we'll start the war for ourselves. The good news is that right now I don't have any other wars to worry about, any, dynasty conflicts, things like that are issues for us. So that helps. It's not like I'm fighting 5 wars at once like I did before. I think that should make this one go a little easier. That, and we outnumber them 3-to-1. That helps a lot too. What army is this here? That's a neutral army. There's something else going on that I'm not a part of. Okay. All right. There's a major army from Britannia that has entered the field, and the Empress is with them. I think we're going to lose this one, though, because I don't think that any Allied forces are going to get there in time. We did, however, kill one of the dukes in battle, but that's going to be a lost cause. We just didn't have... I don't know where the... looks like the Holy Roman Emperor is going this way by water. That's fine. We'll have to take on that army at some point. We'll just get our combined forces to do it. Well, that's interesting. They just destroyed the title of Kingdom of England? Or I can no longer claim that title because I hold none of its de jure lands. Okay, that's why. Interesting. Yeah, we'll recreate that. That won't be an issue. Alright, once my army retreats to here, we can combine these forces into one. And we also have 61,000 men on the way. Yeah, you better run. That's what I thought. Let's start our pursuit, because the Empress is with them. If we can capture them, if we could get lucky enough to capture or kill her on the battlefield, we might be able to end this thing quickly. We've got a massive force available to us here. This could be an absolute disaster for them if we can catch them somewhere. We just need the battle to last long enough for the Holy Roman Emperor to catch up with us. Right now, we just can't catch these guys. I'm going to try to get ahead of them and try to anticipate their moves, if possible. The Holy Roman Emperor's spread out all over the place now. Here we go. We caught him. We've got 42,000. We outnumber him 2-1, and we're about to get a lot of help from the Holy Roman Emperor when he arrives. Although it doesn't look like we need him. But the Empress isn't with that army anymore. So that's unfortunate, but still, it's a major victory on the battlefield. We lost 2,700, but killed 12,000. That leaves them with just 26,000 available troops to fight this war. Okay, I think the Holy Roman Empire's got things handled on the continent. I'm sending my army to London. We're going to finish this thing off. We're at 39% right now. He's got just 25,000 men left on the field. We've got him outnumbered 4-1. So I think any one army that we put anywhere is going to be able to handle things. The Holy Roman Empire is going to deal... Oh, Britannia is actually trying to take some of this land back. Where's the Holy Roman Emperor? He's marching that way. He'll deal with those armies while I march on London. Okay, we're laying siege to London. Holy Roman Emperor is fighting the armies on the continent. I don't know if she's going to actually be here. But if she's here, that would end this thing real quick. We'll find out here in a second. She was not. We did get her son, though. And we did bump things up to 66%. Where is she? She's kind of a manly looking girl, ain't she? Alright, there's a 5,000 man army that wants to mess. So let's oblige them. If we can catch them before they move. And we did. The Earl of Northamptonshire. It's not going to change things much in the war, I don't think. It didn't change it at all, actually. But we can go ahead and lay siege there while we're there. We lost 324. We killed his entire army with the exception of 3 survivors. And the 3 survivors were the 3 knights. Oh, he sent an army to try and take back London. Maybe this will be enough to win this thing, because we're at 78% now. Oh, he split up. Alright. We'll go after the big army first. Excommunicated? The darn Pope excommunicated me? That's the first time that's happened. Why was I excommunicated? I'm sure there's somewhere I can figure that out. Here we go. Until the 17th of December, so it's only a year that's really an issue. Alright, we caught up with the army. Did I lose a bunch of my men? Because I thought I had a much bigger army than that. That's alright, no matter. It's a glorious victory. It might be enough to end this thing. We killed the Duke. Oh, yeah. Wait, that was my husband? Beautiful, the war's over. Let's look at that victory first, because that was fantastic. The Duke of Essex was killed in battle, I believe, by my husband. Yep. Excellent. That's pretty cool. That's very fitting. Empire of Britannia is mine once again. We can disband our armies. And now, instead of it being Britannia, it's all the Byzantine Empire. I guess that's just kind of the way it goes. Although I don't really necessarily like that. I'd prefer to... I don't know if there's a way to make something else my main title. If there is, maybe somebody can let me know how to do that. I'll make primary. Here we go. My primary title is now Britannia. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up right here because that was a lot that happened in that episode. We're in 1431, which I believe means we have about 20 years left. We'll probably see my son, Prince Werner, inherit the throne, and that'll probably be who we carry the throne into EU4 with. After a series of women, we'll go back to a man in charge. But in the meantime, we've got some prisoners who can be ransomed, and we'll have to deal with all of that. But I'm going to wrap it up right there. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.